So I'm recording this on Wednesday. You're seeing this on Saturday. God, we just can't get the day right, can we? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to the Thursday Murder Club. And I'm going to start off right off the bat by saying this is not a donation reward. This is just something I wanted to react to since I heard about it, and we're leaving it at that. Yeah, this is a movie that I heard about. I heard that there's this new murder mystery movie that I think is based off a book, coming to Netflix, and that it has a star-studded cast, though I can't remember who was in it. I heard about the cast, but I can't remember. I want to say Ben Kingsley, and I think Helen Mirren as well. Those are the two names that are popping into my head, but I'm not 100% on that. I think I saw like a teaser for this, but I don't remember much of anything from that either. But what I believe I know about this is like it's a murder mystery, I think, like involving like just a group of like ordinary random people, something like that. Again, I don't 100% know for sure, but I do know what I do know is that when I first heard about this, it's like, oh, I knew I wanted to watch this, so I completely blacked myself out from any other information, and apparently from the information that I did see, and have just been waiting. And apparently it came out like, I don't know, like a week or two ago, and I just didn't hear about it at first. But I thought, it's like, it's out, let's react to it. And so here we are. So yeah, I love murder mysteries. Recent stuff has been like the likes of Knives Out and Glass Onion have been pretty great. I also love like Murder on the Orient Express, pretty much anything from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It's like this kind of shit has always been very fascinating to me. And even if I'm not always great at solving the mysteries as the movie or book or whatever goes along, I can still enjoy it for what it is. And so I'm very curious to see where this goes and what kind of murder mystery we have here. And I'm very curious to see like what the full cast is and everything, and how many actors I'll know in this, because it's like, again, I don't remember who is in this, and Ben Kingsley and Helen Mirren I'm not even sure on. That's what's coming to my mind. So I'm very, very interested. And honestly, like, I don't really have much else to say. Like I said, it's not a donation reward. This is something I'm just choosing to react to. And I hope that this ends up being really, really enjoyable. Not much of anything else to say. Let's just get into it and find out. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, let's start off with this. There was an actor I missed. He wasn't mentioned in, like, the names that popped up at the end there, but he was in the full credits, and that is Bobby Tanner's actor was Richard E. Grant, and I just did not realize that was Richard Grant at all. I just did not catch that. But it's like, yeah, it totally was. I somehow just didn't, it just didn't click for me. I don't know why. But on top of that, I looked up some of the others here. Um, Paul Freeman, who played John, the retired vet who, was Penny's husband. Um, that's Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie. He was Ivan Ooze. He was also Renee in the Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. Indiana Jones. He was the rival archaeologist for Indy. So it's like, yeah, I mean, Ivan Ooze was a more exciting surprise for me because that's just like, that's a classic. Come on. But on top of that, Father Mackey was played by Joseph Marcel, who was Joffrey in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. How did I not recognize him? I have seen all the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like 3 times. It's one of those things that just didn't click. I didn't recognize him. I mean, I know it's been like 30 years since Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, mind you. He's a lot older now, but still. And mind you, I recognize like all the big names in this. Like obviously Dame Helen Mirren, Sir Ben Kingsley, Pierce Brosnan, like huge names. This cast was phenomenally star-studded. But it's like there's a couple it just didn't click for me. And it's like it's kind of fun to find that surprise though at the end there, to see that even if it's after the reaction, it's still fun to like be surprised by that. So this movie, I think the best way to describe it would be delightful. Unlike other murder mysteries out there, unlike a lot of movies that take themselves very seriously in terms of murder mystery stuff, this movie is very light reading. is a way to put it. Like I can imagine the book is probably a similar in tone to this, where it's like it's not goofy or anything, but it's lighthearted enough to where it feels like this is the kind of murder mystery that you can just relax and enjoy. You don't have to think too hard, you don't have to get too invested, you don't have to be like too stressed about it. It's not one of those murder mysteries that is going to get your pulse pounding. Compare it to like Sherlock Holmes, it's nothing like that. Sherlock Holmes takes itself a lot more seriously, even though Sir Arthur Conan Doyle definitely still had some fun with his writing. It's definitely more of a serious murder mystery, while this is more of like a lighthearted, fun murder mystery that has this charming, delightful air to it. It feels very much like something that, again, you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy. And I think that's its biggest appeal, how just charming it is. With all these great actors who are like, fantastic at being like funny or serious or, who just have this great range to them. And you get to see like a lot to their characters. For a great example here, Tom Ellis. I know he wasn't one of the main characters in this, but he had a prominent role. Tom Ellis is entirely different in this than he was in Lucifer. He has a lot less of that swagger and confidence to him. And he's a lot more down to earth. I mean, mind you, I've only seen 2 seasons of Lucifer as of this point, but still. It's a very different performance, and I like seeing that range. Pierce Brosnan is nothing like he was in James Bond or Mrs. Doubtfire. He plays this character very differently. Helen Mirren, it's just like completely melds into any character she's playing, no matter who that character is. Sir Ben Kingsley, very different in this than he is in the MCU or than he is in I don't know, Prince of Persia. Or I'm trying to think of other Ben Kingsley roles off the top of my head, and I'm having trouble. But you get the point. David Tennant, very different than in Doctor Who. Like, these actors all show some great range here. And they pull off these characters phenomenally. You never feel like any of them are having trouble getting into their roles. You feel like they've all like you're watching the characters more so than you're watching the actors portray the characters. You know what I mean? And I really like seeing that. The mystery element of this was actually really good too. It's like it kept me on my toes, kept me guessing. I'm trying to figure it out and not really doing super well, to be fair. And to find out there were actually multiple murderers. There were three different murderers in this. Because there were three different victims. Tony, he was murdered by Bogdan. You have David Tennant's character, whose name is escaping me for the moment for some reason, but he was murdered by John. And then you have the third body, the body that was found in the grave of this guy from this cold case from all this time ago. And we find out he was actually murdered by Penny. Back when she was, an officer and everything. And I mean, technically, you can also count John and Penny's the murder-suicide there as well. But that we knew what was happening right away. That wasn't a surprise or anything. That wasn't anything you were supposed to try and figure out. We understood what was happening there. So, yeah, it's like I actually never really considered the possibility of multiple murderers while watching this. And it's like I'm trying to figure it out. I was talking at one point about like, oh, I'm wondering if it like because of everyone in the crowd and everyone being around David Tennant's character when he before he died, I'm like wondering like, okay, is it one of our main group? Is it one of the Thursday Murder Club? I was actually starting to suspect that. And you know who I was suspecting the most? Ron. I was suspecting Ron specifically of killing David Tennant the most because of the entire issues and connections with his son. And I was wondering if, like, because if his son also had the connections to Tony, maybe he knew that. Maybe it wasn't a surprise to him. And, like, he killed him too, and he was doing all this to protect his son or something. That was the thought that was going through my head. Because it obviously wasn't Elizabeth. Like, she was, like, obviously not even close to a suspect. Even though, like, they brought up the entire idea that anyone there could be one. And Ibrahim, it's like, I just didn't see it. And our new girl, it's like, no, they wouldn't do that, would they? Like, especially since it seemed too obvious with the entire syringe thing, like the overdose of fentanyl. It just seemed too obvious that it could be her because she was a nurse. So yeah. And then the other names that they were bringing up, like the other people who were there, I just never really suspected, like John and Father Mackey. It's like, I never really suspected that, but John ended up being the killer. And it's like, oh, well, I did not see that coming. Okay. And then on top of it, you also have this entire thing going on with, like, the conspiracy behind the, like, I don't know if he was actually a mafia boss, but the crime gang leader and everything, Richard E. Grant and all. It's like Bobby was like this also wrench being thrown into things. And then you have to figure out how it all works together with like the retirement community, how everything connects in regards to that and the ownership situation. It was actually really investing. Like I really got invested in everything that was going on. This movie was also almost 2 hours long, but honestly, surprisingly, it didn't feel like it. It felt like it was a lot shorter. I never caught myself checking the time. I never was worried that it was like dragging on. It felt natural. I was just invested in what was going on. I was just interested in the story and the mystery of it all. And then there were even other surprises in this too, like at the end with Joanna, like clearly considering buying the place, and it's the implication is that she will have. It's like that's such a good idea, and I just did not consider that because the idea was brought up. It's like, oh, if all the owners are like either dead or just not wanting it to be involved with this place, it's like yeah, there would have to be a new someone to buy it, and it's like that would be perfect. Huh. It's so wild. And then you have the entire thing with Jonathan Pryce's character and the dementia coming into play with him recording everything. It's like, oh my god. It's like this is actually pretty clever. And just the concept alone of these retired senior citizens having this murder club in order to solve these unsolved murders of the past in the first place and everything is just really fascinating in and of itself. It's just a fun idea. It's just a really fun idea. And then you also have the cops perspective. You have the uh, semi incompetent, I'll say, uh, lead of the investigation. And then you have the extremely competent um, constable. Um, I can't remember her name. Donna, who is like just like really sweet. Like she's so wholesome and sweet and kind of adorable. And it's just like, no, I'm supposed to hate cops, damn it. But no, it's the UK. I don't know how the police force is over there. My issue with the police is the American police system specifically. So, I mean, I'm not saying that there's no corruption in the police in the UK. There's corruption with police everywhere. That's just going to happen no matter what. But it's just wild. And I mean, also in the first place, we find out that Tony's murder by Bogdan was an accident in the first place. In fact, all of these murders had one very notable thing in common. Every single murder was a murder of passion. That was the connecting tissue. Because with Tony, he was killed because Bogdan wanted his passport back so he could go and visit his mother, who is, sick and dying. David Tennant's character is killed because Penny was being protected by her husband. He wanted to protect her, John, and wanted to keep her safe from, the law because, it would implicate things. And Penny killed the one guy, the husband or boyfriend or whatever, from the past and everything, and because she was passionate about the case. She was passionate about justice, and she specifically hated people like him. Abusers and terrible people who kept getting off of this. She had a passion for dealing with these kinds of horrible people. And then even in the end, the murder suicide between John and Penny again was out of passion. He was still protecting her in the end. He chose to put her out of, the basically vegetative state she was in, put her out of her misery, and end things with himself as well, to make it so that they didn't have to deal with any issues with the police and everything, and they could just die in each other's arms. Every death in this was because of passion, because of love. And then you also have the love that connected with these different character relationships, as shown and mentioned during the funeral. You have parent and child relationships, you have friendships, you have all of these different kinds of relationships. And that's what this movie is truly about: relationships, and how those relationships can affect people's judgment and cause them to do maybe not the best things at times. Sometimes good people do bad things. And often the case when they do, it's because of love. And so it's like there's a little bit of a message to this movie as well. Um when I guess first saw like the teaser trailer or whatever I saw that like got me interested in this movie, even though I forgot about it, it's like I had to have seen that either David Tennant or Tom Ellis or something like that with someone in here like got me interested. It had to be an acting thing. I mean, outside of like Ben Kingsley and Helen Mirren, who I knew were in this, I did remember that. I didn't remember Pierce Brosnan. I didn't remember um, David Tennant or Tom Ellis. I didn't remember Richard E. Grant. Of course, I didn't even recognize him until the after the movie. I didn't remember or know that Jonathan Pryce was in this. So it's like it has to have been that. I had to have found out, and I just somehow completely wiped it out of my mind. Completely forgot about that. Though honestly, if I had just heard the, basic premise of this, I would have been interested anyway. If my interest came from just the basic premise of, you know, retired senior citizens um solving a murder mystery, it's like that would have absolutely gotten me interested. So yeah, this was a really fun, really enjoyable, really charming film with a fantastic cast, a genuinely good mystery, and like some twists and turns I didn't expect. I really liked this. I really enjoyed this one. And I'm glad I decided to check it out today. I'm glad that I decided, I'm just going to choose a movie for myself this time. And I'm just going to, just enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Um, but we will be back with more actual donation rewards following this. I just wanted to do this movie because I heard it had come out and I wanted to see this anyway. And I thought, like, I could react to this. I could have watched it on my own, but I could react to this. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this movie. But tell me in the comments below, what did you think? And how did you do with the mystery? Did you solve things? Did you suspect any of the actual killers? Because I'll tell you right now, I didn't suspect Bogdan. In fact, I actually thought, like, I believed him. I believed that he would never kill and everything. Though, again, it was an accident. And I didn't suspect John at all. And obviously didn't really suspect Penny. But, yeah, it's like, I didn't get it really at all. So, let me know what you thought. And if you solved any of this on your own while watching. Hope you enjoyed either way. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.